Okay, so hopefully everything's going correctly. I hope everyone is doing well. Today it is a Monday night, so I too got to explain myself for just a wee bit. So the little context for everyone is simple. I was supposed to stream yesterday night, playing out Tiny Bunny, which we also playing Tiny Bunny. I did get the game just now, and it just finished downloading on my computer. Now, what's the situation yesterday? Well, simply put, it was a family event. There is like a festival going around in my in the town area that I live. I live in a small currently I live in like a small village, but like this the main town of the province I'm in is literally like next to us by like a 10 to 15 minute drive. And there's a whole festival going around we call like Folk Fest. Well, basically a bunch of like different community centers, that's like different like school literally like any buildings where like a community go in for like events. Each different one is hosting a different folk festival. So in other words, one community center is an event that's more focused on the Portuguese culture. One community center is doing a focus on the Italian culture. Like literally like a bunch of different buildings, each doing like a specific culture. And of course, my family, we did 3. We first went to the Portugal one, then we went to the Korean one, and then finally we went to the Spain one. So, how it is, each event, it costs $10 just to enter. You get like a nice seat, either by on some chairs or like a table, most of them are like tables, and you get to view the shows. And literally like what they show off is like different aspects of the culture that's from the community that lives there. So what I mean by that is, for example, so when we went to the Korean one, there were okay. I actually think the most easiest one to explain was actually the very first one, was the Portugal one. So there was a pretty nice Portugal community there. The first event was held by the kids of the community, showing off like the dances that they learn. Then it was more of like the high schoolers or like the young college age folks doing an event there, doing like some of the dances they've been taught. And finally, and it ended off with like a professional singer that sings in Portuguese. Same thing with like the Spain event, where there was a group of people that's from the kids of the community, then the adult ones, and there's some like more bigger performance that, is part of the community. It was like a really fun time, like going through that, but of course, these events are late at night. So each of them is like an hour long, but there's like a 30-minute like buffer period between like each event. Because like the way these have been organized is they're expecting like you go to one event and then you need to find time to travel to the next event and get seated and get everything ready. Plus, the people needed time to okay, we finished one event, let's start preparing for the next event. Like they also needed time to do that. And by the time me and my family got home, it was basically 10 p.m. already. And I'm like, either A, I actually legit did not download a Tiny Bunny yet. But either A, stream super late, or just do it today. Which I think it was best for all of us if I just do it today. Hopefully, do you guys like Monday streams? I'm a bit curious about that because, I stream on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'm like, what does he about it? We can start. Hey, Lotus, how are you today? I'm just doing a bit of pre-ramble before we start playing Tiny Bunny. Do you know anything about Tiny Bunny, if you don't mind me asking? That's good to hear. But yeah, no, literally, the community event, it was fun to do. we're gonna do it again. My family, we're gonna do it again, like this upcoming Friday and Sunday again. So most likely, you never heard of Tiny Bunny? Got it. So yeah, I think it's to give you a heads up. Most likely, Identity V Night will be moved for this particular week, just from Friday to Saturday because, like, we're all gonna be out for the experiencing like other folk fest. Like this whole event is literally going to be running for 2 weeks. It's like different phases too. So like for this week, it's like a big selection of cultures you can visit. Well, next week is a whole new set. I have taken both photos. You need to see my DV in the future? Ooh, hopefully it goes well too. But yeah, I have taken photos of the events I've been at. I'm gonna quickly post them on like a Discord. Like if Tiny Bunny needs some time to load up, we can just look at some photos I took at the culture events too. But yeah, if you guys want me to talk about a bit more about like any specific ones, because again, I just went to the Portugal, the Korean, and the Spain event with the family. Okay, I'm gonna now turn on Tiny Bunny. I'm gonna switch to scenes. Oh yeah, one more thing. Like, well, yes, it's like $10 to go into like the event. There's also like food you can buy too. Okay. Okay, gaming. Tiny Bunny. I'm just getting like all the achievements. Okay, first up, let's switch to English. Settings. Volume. Oh, it just... Wow, it immediately switched to, like, no volume. That is kind of funny. Like, practically all the games that I've played, volume is at max stat at the start. Here's just, like, everything at nothing. Wow. Let me just make my model just bigger. Yeah, no, that's why I'm really interested in this game. This looks beautiful. So yeah, let's do full screen. Let's do medium for everything for now. And let's do voices at medium too. In terms of skipping, I'm just gonna skip anything on that we read already. Okay, did it remembered? Okay, yeah. Just to get used to UI. Okay, so it looks like the default was Russian. I set it to English. Then it's based, I believe that's Japanese, Italian, and Turkish. Okay. So yeah, let's start. So from my understanding, this is a non-linear horror game. It is a pretty dark one because I did saw like 18 plus warning, so viewer discretion is advised. The last thing is, it was default to Russian. That's because there will be Russian voice acting. So even though the voice is at the medium, like again, if you guys want to make things louder or quieter, let me know. How we're gonna go into this, we will let the Russian voice acting go, and then I'll read it out loud. In English. Because I do understand like some of you guys will be just like watching from here or just using it as background noise. So I'm just going to make go. So I think it'd be fair if I read it out so you guys can still, like, the locals can still, understand what's going on. There's also moments where we can make a decision, which I could let the community decide as well. This is some gorgeous artwork. The wind crawled at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song reveled from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, silly, twined in the air. They were shouted and laughing and argued about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own. The quickly old mind of the building that had seen a lot in its days was similarly trying to say its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faces the forest, and the dark green Trinket glazed back with its hold eyes, rustling, wheezing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It was a play of light and sounds. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was only 12 after all. Still. Oh, I saw a fox just now. Episode 1, The Owl Will Arrive. Hey, put away your book. Let's just say, this is a beautiful artwork. Holy hell. How many times have I told you not to eat at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouchy you are. Oh, wow. So the first action is just hide. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olia had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eye, as it would make the tortoise disappear. Hazy exorcist wailed up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. Like, I'm gonna make the voices just a little bit louder, if you don't mind me. So yeah, menu. Oh, we also have a glossary. That's gonna definitely help if I'm forgetting something. Auto, backlog, and I believe this is a skip button. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substances became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Kursku Odyssey. I love that so. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Or how cold the black forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showed me with a cold glare from her green eyes. What did I just say? I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around it for the spoon. What is this carved on the other side of the table? Karina. Hey, that's my mom's name. I guess he carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal damaging the furniture like that. She could scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Did I remind her about it? No, she'd been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagine her being at my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed where old Olia sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Taiga is a special place, little girl. It watches you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you underground. And that would be... Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the meddling screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusation. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. Wow. It waited for its time in the closet patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the times it was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Hey. The photos were gone the moment she died. Oh. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had dead, but watched me look in their eyes. I called out from the table. Olga was done with her cookies and was looking at myself like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze towards the frosted window. There was a lot of dark pines outside, but it didn't grab my attention. The pattern of the forest formed a picture on the glass. Olga, look, it's a fox. Yeah, I noticed that. Where? It looked at almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of a student's notebook. A mix of lines at first glance, but if you blow your vision just a little and look under a certain angle. Not outside, on the window. Look, there's the nose, and there. Hey, Ida. Yes, just a moment. I didn't see anything. Oh, yeah, there's not much left. Ah, there it is, but it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you, it does. It does. Stop it, these kids, I swear. Now, I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosted patterns, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, keeps creeping up the glass. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like this when I grow up. Okay, to be honest, you guys, I don't want to get a beard. Like, maybe sideburns might be okay with me, but like a flat-out beard, that's not a me thing, honestly. Like, I save, but I don't save every day. I just let it grow for like a bit, and then I just, I save everything off. But if I really have more facial hair, I might just have like sideburns. That's about it. Mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, save it off. It stings." This was a long time ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olia always covered her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point in all of this?" through the walls. "It's all for your sake," Dad would reply, "for the sake of our family." I always thought every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. D-I-O... Oh, divorce. I believe that's what I was about to spell. I didn't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister would be torn apart and taken to two different families. And when your fox is nothing, I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk again. And you said you believed me yesterday. Has anyone seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on my windshield. Right. Maybe you did, and maybe not. You're a grown man, father of two, and still... Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket, near the phone. Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a much out of yourself and finish eating already. But the owl... There was no owl. But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes. Olia sprang up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, and it made a pair of eyes with her fingers, as safe as an apple eats. Last you said a papaya in your closet, and now there's, oh, Glossy's going crazy. Papaya. In Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. Ah, fairy tales of the classic era. Feel. Like, did your parents ever give you guys, like, tales when you were young to instill, like, fears or lesson? Like, I remember when I was, like, super young, and I was trying to get, like, more into playing, like, when I first started getting into playing, like, video games, my mom warned me not to get too obsessed, because he told me a story of a guy that got so obsessed with the video games that he murdered his parents for not letting him play it. And I'm like, Mama, I just started playing. Holy hell, you gotta tell me this already. Because I know, like, a lot of the classic fairy tales. I know, like, a lot of, especially, like, the Grim Legends, they use a lot of, like, a lot of them look super messed up. It's interesting seeing, like, nowadays, where they don't try to scare the kids as much. Well, it's like, I somewhat get it. Like, the kids are, like, kids, when we're talking about little kids, they do get scared very easily, and we don't want to, like, hardcore traumatize them. But, like, sometimes we need to, like, in, like, a safe manner, show them something scary so that if they come across it in the adult years, they're not completely taken aback or, like, stunned locked because of it. I don't know what I said made sense or not. If you want me to, like, expand upon it, just let me know. Last year you had Bye-Bye in your closet, and now this owl. But I saw it. Always shifted gaze back and forth from dad to mom to me, but couldn't find any support. Have you thought about befriending it? Like feeding it with imaginary mice? Don't bully our girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because he's still little. Oloya pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircases that led to the second floor creaked. My mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just nodded in reply and left, leaving with the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song of The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. Okay, guys, I have told this in the past, I did not like The Little Mermaid, so I actually don't know the song that well. It was stored on visibly worn out cassette tape, which Dad only had glued together once. It's so easy to fix objects, but by gluing them back together, for example. How do you fix a relationship? Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Olia had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or crawl in a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped her take her mind out of all the troubles we had with Cartoons helped to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. And then Olia said she saw the giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Oglia refused to sleep alone and didn't believe the owl was just one of her nightmares. After last night, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep, and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisted hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind the desk were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. Circular holes scraped in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinked inside their holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind a flat, black silhouette. The cruel glares filled with icy sneers made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? When they came up on me and beat me down, stomped on me with their bloodied shoes, the damn school can burn for all I care. I just wish for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who just itching to scratch me on the head trip me up thinking of a new offensive names for me, worse than the previous ones. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider of some sort of monster. My gaze did slid across the drawing hanging on the wall. I couldn't even consider myself a great artist, but earlier begging me to hang them, drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You got the wrong number." Or Anton isn't around. Anton is not around. I imagine my future classes lying in their beds, classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the house on invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will be like me after all? But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? For me, oh, hold on, make this. Sorry about that. For me, so when it comes to my schooling days, so I started in elementary school, and then for middle school, it was basically the neighborhood I lived in, the elementary and middle school, and then there was like a high school, they were all super, and I mean super close together. So it was very common for basically everyone from the elementary school to go to this middle school right after. And they go from that middle school to that high school right after as well. But I moved when I finished middle school, so my classmates basically the same from like elementary to middle. Like I recognized a lot of people. Now there was a couple of new faces that I did met during my middle school days, but like again, it was mostly folks I knew from elementary and middle school. In high school, I moved to like a different school to visit, so like everyone there was completely different. And I know, like, you know, different areas are different and different time periods are also different as well. But, like, the vibe of my high school was, like, no one give a fuck. And not in terms of, like, oh, no one cared about the education or, like, no one cared to do, like, no, like, the students in my high school, they cared about their studies and they studied, but, like, anything else that happens, again, this is based off, like, the people I hanged out with. There was a little, there's a little clear lack of, like, giving a fuck. Like, it's like, bro, I have my math homework to do. Like, I don't have time for this bullshit. Bye. Like, that was, like, the main vibe of my high school is we were all focused on our studies. Oh, hi, Boots. How are you today? Hope you're doing well tonight. I'm currently playing a horror game at the moment, Boots, so things could get a little scary. I do want to give you a heads up about that. I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. The house peaked, passed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbors' drill, mumbles with a TV set from behind the walls, cried like a baby from a big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. Is that if you're not a horror game in the same something as well? Like this game, This game currently will try to scare you. IDV does have like a horror setting, like a wolf in sheep's clothing type of thing. Yeah, legit. Like IDV is supposed to be like a horror game, but like we all just treat that game as a fascination, like a dress-up game. We'll be honest. It was silent and easy-going during the day. It utterly lay dormant in the corners on the closet cobwebs and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the nights. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family with their ashen eyes were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was creaking, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sounds of the wind, of the creaking outhouse, and my thoughts too. Oh, hi, Azul. Yes, I'm currently playing Tiny Bunny. Do you know this game well, Azul, or no? Yeah, no, I just started it today. I was so interested in this game because of the art style, and I really want to try it too, plus the voice acting. And hi, Azul. Welcome in. Come on in. You played it? Oh, that's good to hear. What's your opinion of it? Did you enjoy this game? I do know, like, there's kind of like 4 episodes out, and they just recently released a trailer for number 5. And there's also now a manga too. When I was in school, I didn't always enjoy the lunches for. Whenever I didn't care for much of the lunch, on one particular day, I would eat veggies from the salad bowl like carrots and supplements. Nice. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to assure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like something is playing it there amidst the cold sunny night, right? It's kind of grotesque, but out of there is a great visual novel. Got it. Ooh, I like the business relaxation. Someone was dancing in the fields. Have you heard of the immortal snail? No, I have not actually, Boots. Ooh, that's really beautiful. Let's see, I see the bear. I believe that's an owl. One of them is most likely a fox, and then it might be a wolf. The nipples are just doing the jiggy. Black silhouettes I could barely make out with the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around, and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands, and whipping up snow, disappeared into the shadow for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music stopped. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear it pierced me with the eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprint across the field with giant leaps. It glided on creaky snow without leaving any prints, until it was surrounded by a pitch-black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back towards the bed. They saw me. A freezing torment of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of the perfectly dark room and I listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around, looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guests would be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered my eyes with the blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked in my muscles. I remember the funeral of my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features soft like that of a tin doll. Trying to save my spyglasses for next year? Nice. I had the weeping snow one, yeah. Ants running up and down the legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up their heads and pulling up the eyelids with their tiny legs. Then her wrinkly eyeballs will once again move inside their sockets, and she'll be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spells he taught me throughout the whole procedure, and now lying under the blanket and listening to the squeaks in the house, I was repeating the same words. On the island of Bayern, underneath the blimmy sun, in the sea of colored blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lie Lord and acid here of the spawn of the devil's slayer, to feast and always leave alone, God's faithful servant named Anton. Evil leave this house must. Ashes to ashes, dusk to dusk. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I curiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. The ground crashes at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone was scratching at the front door, hauling crawl at wood demanding to be let in. The door was shut. My dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remembered him staying at the forest, instantly as if he was looking for someone. Ass to asses, dust to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the night of darkness. And then the doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more, and then it started clicking violently. My jaws clenched from fear. My red fingers clenched the blanket. The door cracked it and opened. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the dim drains. And now, you'll see, the door was wide open. The darkness withered inside the cavernous mouth of a doorway. It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and shrieking with rusted hues. I was trembling and snared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a little weird fun fact about me. I kind of always slept with my bedroom door open. Like, legit growing up, I often would just leave my door open whenever I'm sleeping. I know, like, most people, like, always have their door closed in the sleep, but for me, I always leave mine open, like, either a little bit or just completely open. Like, one, I have pets, and they just love coming and going inside my room, so I just leave it open for them. But, like, yeah, most of the time, I just sleep with my door open. I don't know, I think this is because I want to get, like, more air in my room. But, like, it's weird. Because I just, like, what kind of fear they want to instill in us. I feel like, oh, you're only, like, safe in your room, your special box. But then, like, something forcibly opens it. It's like, for me, that doesn't really hit because, like, my room is always open. Like, my little box is always open. I get what they're trying to do here. Too neat. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, Tusa, you asleep? My sister's pale face obtruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. Olia, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Olia frowned and stuck out her little lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. You're there again, staring at me. So away, Toza, please. I'm so scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a moment ago crawled away and hit somewhere in my stomach. I need to calm down Olia down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared, dreams don't bite, no one's going to harm you. Olia sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I so myself? I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video. Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary board? That question took me by surprise. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing previously under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window and couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with the feast of lard and long acid hair. Duza, you coming? Yes, yes, just a moment. Fuck! Fuck, that got me! Oh wow, animated cutscene. Okay, that one was... Okay, I was not expecting that. Wow. Is this like a log? No. But... I didn't know there was actually any task. I might have just flat out missed it. That's funny. You know what? That was a really good jump scare. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olia and her owl in the morning. Ah, guys, so Olia is currently having the owl, while looks like a wolf. Don't know if that's gonna stay consistent or not. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest would have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Olia always hides. Hold up! I swear that moved. I felt like a kettlebells will try to my feet, but still dragged them forward the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and rumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello? The senior officer who wore a grim expression nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name was Vova. Ova. No. Vova. What? I know. Hold up. I apologize. I'm just gonna quickly check something. Yep. Vladimir. Oh, Vova. Am I saying it correctly? Hold up. I need to see, yeah. Hold up. Von va. Vo. Va. Yeah. Vo. Va. Yeah. So I might be just pronouncing the name completely incorrectly, but like, I just quickly Google because I know that sounded familiar. Supposed to be like from Vladimir. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman had held out a photograph to me. This was a ginger boy around the age of an elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. This guy's just fucking confused. I know this is a very serious moment, like a missing child case, but like, this cat just looks fucking confused, and I love it. No, I haven't. Oh, you so look closely. Well, would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window? That's right, your window looks straight at the forest, don't they? The window. No, I haven't seen anything. I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes. He stares long and heavy, was full of suspicion. Oh, I'm getting like a text. Use cookie paste in the paper bag only after the psychic's sleeves are gone. Okay. 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 I squirm unwillingly under the weight of guilt, which has giant shadows cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit. It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot. Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? Yes, everything's alright, thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his bound eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to his unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll in the police school when his family visit this summer. Wanted to help other people just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. You know that? Little... Oh. Little boy... I'm being a bit too impatient, sorry. Little boys like you should stay at home, stay away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjects in a cold voice. You don't say. Well then. What grade are you in, Anton? 6. Have you made any friends here so far? Not yet. I'll be going to the school for the first time after the break. I'll leave you my number just in case. Call me if you have any new info. The policemen were gone along with the shadows, the smell of cheap cologne in the photo of the smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wonder what it was like for him being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swinging in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I would be gone missing? Would they cry and fast around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? Vova, yeah. Mom, this Vova, did he go missing in our forest? Seems like it. Poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police Uza drove off towards the village. UAZ. A Soviet and Russian off-road figment passenger car van which was produced the Lukovich car factory. Lukovich car factory. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was spitting off old paint from the windshield. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I read this summer. As either contemporary Russian origin or translated teen mystery books. Ooh. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities, and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen footsteps that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start investigating on my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy, and I'll get rewarded. Ola will be so happy. And not only Ola, Mom, and Dad too, maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe it'll save us from the D word. Oh boy. I fantasize about buying Oya a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. I was an Oreo kid and I always will be an Oreo boy. So, to back in there, you'll never get me. When was the last time my parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. Accountant. A song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Kobayatsu. Kobayatsu. Kombinatsu. Combination. Kombinatsu. Yeah. Kombinatsu. That became widely popular. Wait the fucking minute. Hold the fuds up. Let me check something. Okay. My playlist, Russian. Yep. Kombinacja. Kombinacja. I actually listened to this group's music. Damn. Okay, so they actually will be name dropping actual places and people. And like bands and like damn. No, I actually would recommend this music group that actually makes some pretty good music. I think my favorite one from them is probably American Boy. Though, I have been listening to Samaya. Yeah, yeah. Wieczorca na Manizonio. Wait. Wie... Wieczorca... Wait. But, sorry. I still need to give proof my Russian. VSTRE. Streccia na Maniznoi. Streccia na Maniznoi. I have been listening to that too. It's been just seeing that name just dropped. I had little no idea what was the accountant job like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, mom and dad barely had money to afford sweets. Oh well. I can't wait to that door. Sorry about that. But nowadays, mom and dad barely had money to afford sweets, and dad would always drive a single chocolate bar between me and Olga. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a peepsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. I'm going outside. Right. You want the police to go around with your photo next? This forest is so thick. What if the boy got scratched up by wild animals or something even worse? Even worse echoed through the hallway. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Did you hear me what I said, or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag or play with Olga. The sound of splashing waters came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Oh, wow! Look at that. I remember, this is a non-linear game, so I do have, like, options. So that is going to be very interesting. Let's go open. The dog's stuffy closet. Oh, let's grab the axe. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know the smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And I couldn't even be lured closer. She thinks Babia is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she could see there was nothing but cobwebs, dabbed tools, and scratched walls. She still doesn't believe me. And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Olia count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaky floorboards, hoping that she would need to look for me in the clammed monster's den. Ah, that's cool. Oh, this... My parents prohibited me from making long-distance calls, but from time to time, I really want to hear my old friend. Sometimes I would just pick up the phone, listen to the low hums of the zoomer, and the distant crackling, imagining the winds howling on the iron cords. This cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. It was black as if it was absorbed all human sin from the long years it was hanging under the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mama was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm, but she cut herself with the cross sharp corners and almost fell from the stepladder. Dad called it a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone in its rightful place. Damn, that's kind of scary. Mom's pig top, a family's fabric. My mom played with it when she was little and then gave it to me. Oli was next in the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. She started at the dancing spin as if she could force or something, a fairy tale or maybe even our future. Now, even my little sister was a bit too old for her old creepy pig top. Let's go to the kitchen. This flat out lied to Mom. Wow, that is the opposite. The spit and sing covered calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. I remember waking up and running to the kitchen so I could tail off yesterday's leaves first thing in the morning, as if the coming day would get lost and the time got froze without my help. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. I haven't had this calendar for years now. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants, they only made me gloomy instead of funny, poor and superstitions to be exact. I grabbed the dusty calendar leaf with a caution and tore it off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky description of my childhood was still there. Hi, Peace Spikes. How are you? Well, I'm getting like lots of messages for my work. Okay. Finally got home after a very frustrating arrival. Oof. Annoying call lights up. Oh, did something happen up the road? That sucks. Oh god, I'm a bit scared. I'm going to play Tiny Bunny Peace Spice. It is a bit of a horror game. Fourth day in a row, woken. I have 2 more to go. I see. But hey, at least you're gonna be entering like your big day. They'll take it away and never come back. Is this the fate the law cannot escape? I combed up the gray leaf and threw it into the wasted bin, hoping to get rid of the angst that was over me. It was spreading inside me like an ink stain on a blotting paper. I hope you sick you went well at the very least. But yeah, it's actually here they're annoying call wide. Let's take a look at the radio. Intercoms of Russia has declared the state of emergency due to the adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, a cyclone is moving towards the region, expecting heavy snowfall, blizzard, and snowdrift on the road. What's the game about? I don't know much, I literally just started it. It is a horror game, so do keep that in mind, Peace of Ice. I just played because of this beautiful art world, like, look how gorgeous the game looks. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. And let's take a look at this. The side of an old ocean freezer was checked good with my childless drawings, mom's recipes, and all kinds of stickers from a bubble gum with dinosaurs that Olia liked it so much. Along that, still life pictures hang of piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Tikhonov, I read inside my head, looking at the officer's brilliant handwriting. A scrap of paper was held by two pieces of a broken magnet, from the same old Soviet toy, and those pieces just barely covered up the numbers as used to taunt me. I leaned towards it to unveil the mystery and take the piece to a safer place, where it could wait for its time, when I would finally find over and be the first to call the police with a happy news. Anton? Mom? Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me. What do you need it for? Hands off, you'll lose it. Angering my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hand. Let's lie to our mom. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there's stripes all over the screen. I just realized the music was cut out, sorry. Yeah, I need to actually put in the bot for that command piece, Spice. Plus, I heard recently, like, Twitch tried to implement something new for... Let me look at some... That's understandable, piece, Spice. I have heard, like, recently, a lot of people have been... Apparently, like, Twitch has tried to enforce something new to deal with, like, bot viewers, but for some odd reason, it's been targeting, like, locals as well. Because apparently, like, now, like, I have put in some streamer, if a local, like, doesn't do anything in chat for, like, a while, does it not count as a view no more? Like, I have been hearing that, but, like... if you guys may hear, like, news similar, let me know. My mom's face became visibly distorted. Oh, you're killing me here. So you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Told you the kinescope will go dim because of your console. Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just a setting? Please go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it? Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olio's room. There's no time for this. Mom will come back soon. Bye! I opened the front gate and went into the fields, carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance towards the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw the silhouettes around here that were jumping around holding hands. The hypnotic music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures kept like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, burly and almost kind. Everything was silent, so silent I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olga. The time reached its limit on one-way trip that ended at the first Pygmy stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any screams. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olga turned to stone, listening to them. But then always come the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together. Almost like it was all in the previous life. When they kissed with Olia's presence, he always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day, it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out and our parents were hurriedly packing up our belongings, trying to save themselves from and us. From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes, who sometimes visit us in our previous homes? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground as everything. And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I suddenly chased away my delusions and looked it around. There was only me, this white field, and the wind that's whipping up icy dust and the belt of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the close, sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the bleeding whiteness. Knobby trees rooted slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and rotten leaves, Confederates needle foes in the ice, onto the ice. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hanging semi-dogs. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked down gloomy, but he still reminded me of the Captain Casarosa from my favorite TV show called The Secrets of Broken Lights. A Russian mystery TV series telling the stories of a daily life of a Russian police officer. It's the longest running series in the history of Russian TV at the moment. Secrets of Broken Lights. He was always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Over. I heard a distant sound. Looked like it came from the river. Over. As if the trees were calling out to someone. Over. We sounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees. Hiding. Over. I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still. Something was unsettling about that figure. Can I actually see them? If you guys know it's like a figure like, let me know. Because so far, I don't see a figure yet. I don't see a figure. So, Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally towards the ground. I still don't see it. But I don't see it. It's blackness. There was no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapping its wings loudly. Oh, now! That's because behind the tree. A shadow sprinted from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but then I turned my gaze back to the same place. It was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Silence regained from my for a painfully long time. My muscles were tightly spun. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any moment, any smell whispers from the ticket and I sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten much more. Well, we're in a horror game, so there's only one thing to do. Bucket the ball. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Over. A sound rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echoes, no hope for a reply. Oi! Oi! I stepped towards the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. It didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked it, and the mitten tore off, laying my head with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking, and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Oh, that's fucking blood, isn't it? I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me, from the darkness, picking pine branches, closing the distance with a giant leap. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thick of it. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. I felt like the sound had come from this pack of hungry beasts, rather than a single one. The nostrils sucked it in frozen air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearly a hoot of geese. The wolves are coming from all distance now. From dried up grassy bush, from twisted pines, all fall from under the fall. Hurry, run, don't look back. I felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became viscous like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the musty trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued down, sneaking deeper and deeper into a desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clenching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my legs were gone, my boots slipped out of the hole, and my soles were on this hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump, and from there I went to my house. Its gloomy facades didn't look threatening now. The house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that are hidden under the snow. I tripped it over the doorstep and smashed onto the door. It was all in my hood. I still managed to notice a claw mount. What the fuck? As if a dog was striking the woods with its paws, demanding to be let in so we escape the colds. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears were much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were clear in the front yard and my mom had locked the door? Drowning in my fear, I pulled on the door and immediately gave away. Nice, we got the mitten. I rolled into the hallway and slapped the door behind me. Port's planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing beneath reached into the house and crashed it at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to. I slung against the door, the smell was gone, and the breath was too, if there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, a mere 5 meters away from my mom, my feet was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with it, the last bit of strength I had left my body too. My legs gave away. I propped myself up against the wall so I couldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mass of sickness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those fools. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted to cuddle me. But Mom regained her posed her fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes needed like steel, her voice ran out. Your dad couldn't find his cigarettes. Be honest. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? There was something chasing me. I started as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned towards me and sniffed my clothes like a bee, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in subsistence and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant. She covered her mouth with her hand. Look over there, at the fence. My heart started thumping as we became prey once again, and my pursuers were following me in the fields. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fear. Wolves! Oh. Oh no, that's a dog. Those are dogs, never mind. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in the snow through the icy patterns on the glass. Oh, they were dogs. Just a pack of strays with no name and owners, barely reminding of the hungry monster that lived on the edge of the forest. Oh, you were scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me like a bunny. What if they were rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it were the first time seeing them. What if they attack Olya? Well, unless your dad will just shoot them all. Mom, look, they're alive. Huh? What? Are they in front of foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in arrogance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the carpet-ridden corner just to keep myself from crying. Well, I'm some detective, I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stray. And for what foe? What use do I have for this? Mitten, of course. A dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I wasn't clutching it. Seems I was clutching the whole time. It was my trump card as a detective. I presented the clue to my mom. The boy the police were asking about in the morning. It's Jensen's blood. It's hanging on the tree I can stove with. Let's call the police right away, like the officer had told us. Mom, look. Ew. A shadow of doubt slowly creeped into Mom's confronted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tried to remember the dream, but the image slipped away. Stop at this moment. Ollie will go insane if she hears you. See, Ollie has trouble sleeping and whines all the time, and you joke around like this? At the moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. Come here, boy who cried wolf. Don't just stand out, come take your pills. A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell into my palm. I already took one during breakfast. Don't talk over me. I told you to stay home, and you... Dad would have given you a good whooping for that. Come on. Come on, take it. We won't be able to sleep at night, and you'll have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down and simply offer water to give off the taste of chlorine. Maybe it was Ova's mitten. Maybe it was my book. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the first monster. And Olya's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Simply washed over me, bringing away indifference is along it. Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. Take off your coat. Are you asleep? No, Mom, I was thinking.
Интересно, о чем же?
Uh, what about, I wonder?
Глупости всякие.
It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with her suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son or not some doppelganger that came from the force.
Все нормально.
Is everything
У тебя
alright?
такое лицо было, когда милиционер про окно спросил.
You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window.
Всё нормально, мам.
I'm alright, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric has became discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellow. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody of Aladdin can be heard from the upper floor. Olia was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to another tape. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped it before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of the spot difference puzzles. Oh, hi, Engine. Am I doing well? I'm doing okay. We're going to be Tiny Bunny. I do have to make a quick bathroom break, you guys. I'm really sorry, Engine. Like, literally just got here and I need to take a quick bathroom. Like, again, I'm going to be playing Tiny Bunny. That's the name of the game. Yeah, sorry about that, Engine, but, like, nice to see you again. Hey, sorry. Sorry about everyone, I'm back. Yes, I was drinking some water before starting stream today, so oh boy. No, welcome on back, and Jen. But yeah, so for context, I played a game called Tiny Bunny. Currently there's 4 episodes out of it. Number 5 is coming soon. I don't know if I just bought number 1 or like it includes like all full episodes. It is a non-linear horror game. Set place in like Russia. There's like a really nice voice acting to this game, and the artwork is beautiful. I still got hit by one jump scare that was successful on getting me. But yeah. Yeah, so currently, right now, there is a missing child in the neighborhood. And currently, we are a 12-year-old boy, and we're trying to find them. That's what we're thinking. Then I went upstairs. Jafar's and Lego's voices died down. I walked past Olia's bedroom and slipped into my own. Okay, we can open the drawer. Let's look at the figurines. My Triceratops figurine. I knew all sorts of dinosaurs, velociraptors, Avatar. I'm not saying that. I remember going to the movies to see Jurassic Park back when we still lived in the city, and taking pictures with the T-Rex in the hallway. It turned its head and roared. It was awesome. And next it was a Robotech Transformer. I love this cartoon. When a fighter jet speed up in the intro along the sound of a blaster's fire, you know your next 20 minutes will surely be amazing. The Zodiac space station is captured. Rick, get ready for battle. I feel like someone will pop out if I try opening that, so let's look around. Oh, you have a few seconds to click something. Monsters, Ghosts, UFO. The Encyclopedia of Paranormal Phenomenon from was unpublishing. I learned about all the Loch Ness monsters, Medusa, Gorgon, and Bigfoot from there. Ollie was always scared of the book. She could barely handle sifting through the monsters and alien sections with me, but the middle part where they start talking about ghosts really freaked her out. I even remembered hunting ghosts after I read that book. I measured the distance between items on my table every evening and checked if they moved due to some supernatural force come the morning. They didn't. But to be honest, what was I expecting? To meet Cypher the Ghost? Giants. I've generally becoming an artist since Dad bought me my first comic book. Fly magazine was the coolest. I especially liked the big space-related editions with alien monsters and that funny episode about Commande. Fly, the first Soviet and Russian pedantic adult comic magazine, extremely popular during the crazy 90s. That made the magazine stand out was the refusal to use material from its foreign counterparts. Interesting. I started drawing all kinds of stuff since that day, and I seem to be getting pretty good at it. One of my levels even got published in Fly once. Maybe someday I'll even publish my comic. Oh, that's actually really cool. The forest didn't look as grim during the day. Entangled trees, branches in the distance, and the snowy field between our house and the forest brought sleepiness to my eyes. But sometimes I would still catch myself looking in the window at the icy tree chops instead of doing my homework. Honestly, I feel that sometimes. Okay. How strange. I remember moving this curtain. Okay, let's open it. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the mitts in there. The simple accent drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. My tired hands dropped to the seats. Whether it was due to medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of snails. The corners of the bedroom bent and oohed. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsills and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. It reminded me of a burial seat. Ola? Who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked my dried up lips. Yeah, Ola, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloping softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtains. Badum, my heartbeat controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with acute choirs of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lay down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking at me. They looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings hustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. Gotcha! I knew it was you from the beginning. I believe but Palau lit up above Olia's head, with the setting sun as the background. My sister was signing. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was signing with happiness. I always resorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day and the sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a light woven child. I saw everything. Oh, really? What did you hide? She was just like my mom. When she was little, before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to a communicating tone of voice. It's nothing, just... Olia went up to the table, her eyes went up, asked, You saw something and hid it there?
Ты вор?
Are you a thief?
Что? Глупая.
Store? What? Don't be stupid.
Ничего я не крал.
I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, the mitten hanging from the tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind black trees. Olga could be selfish, stubborn, and when she wanted.
Покажи тогда.
Then show me.
Поклянись, что никому
Swear that you won't tell
не
anyone.
покажу.
Swear you won't tell anyone. Then I'll show you. Olga wore a plotting smile.
Клянусь маминым сердцем.
I swear on Mom's heart. Oh, oath she quote in one of the movies about the pioneers we watch. The pioneer movement, an umbrella term for communist children an umbrella term for a communist children organization existing around the world, somewhat reminiscent of the Scouts movement.
Не говори так.
Don't say things like that. Olga nodded and made a gesture with her head, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olga leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was nothing, just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter.
Это чья-то варежка?
Is this someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw.
Один мальчик потерял. И сам потерялся.
A certain boy lost it and got lost himself.
Понимаешь, как опасно гулять в лесу, особенно детям?
Now do you understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right?
Наверное, там очень холодно.
It must be really cold out there.
Его найдут?
Will they find him?
Обязательно.
They will.
Участковый по домам ходит, всем фотографии его показывает.
The police are going house to house, showing this photo to everyone. Olga traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny paws against the window.
А почему он по домам ходит, а не по лесу?
And why are they going to the house and not the forest? Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. Well, that is a good point, but it could be because, like, hey, did someone kidnap the child? Better go into, like, each houses. But, you know, each house is, like, that forest is massive, right? It will take a long time to search everywhere in the forest. Well, each house, it's much smaller, so it's quicker to go through each house.
Милиционеры ничего не боятся.
The police aren't scared of anything.
Они прочесали.
They already scattered the forest. Yeah, right, flashes in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny? Where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy vents dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did they appear later for me? I changed the topic. As if to try to get Olga as far away as possible from the forest trick.
Если я сам найду пропавшего мальчика, нам, может, награду дадут.
We may get a reward if I go find this boy myself.
Всякого.
A lot of stuff, like in the Wheel of Fortune.
Клёво же.
Sounds cool, right? Olga wouldn't listen to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her.
А что, если это сова его утащила?
What if the owl got him?
Ерунда.
Nonsense.
Не может сова поднять человека.
An owl won't be able to lift a human,
Вот что.
but you know that. I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain.
Ты в лес не суйся. Мне кажется, он какой-то,
Stay away from the forest. I think it's...
как бы сказать, проклятый, что ли.
How should I put it? It's close to something?
Как в сказке?
Just like a fairy tale?
Нет, скорее, как на той страшной кассете, что родители прячут.
No, more like that spooky tape our parents hide from us. Olga shivered and stole a glance at the window.
Я видела, как ты убегал.
I saw you running away.
За тобой кто-то гнался?
Someone was chasing you?
Нет, просто, чтобы мама не волновалась, спешил домой.
No, it's just I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile, it was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone.
Хорошо тебе.
You're lucky.
Меня вот мама не пускает даже на крыльцо.
Mama won't let me go outside.
Как принцесса в башне сижу.
I'm,
Никуда не могу выйти.
I'm like a princess in a tower, can't go anywhere.
Умру тут от скуки.
I'll die from boredom.
Не придумывай.
You're wrong.
От скуки еще никто не умирал.
No one has ever died of boredom.
У тебя же есть я и мультики, а мама с папой
You have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon.
Знаешь, что бы я загадала на следующий день рождения?
You know, I would wish for my next birthday.
Чтобы родители тоже в детей превратились. И мы бы все вместе играли, как раньше.
Bless. I wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to.
Ага. А если бы они стали размером с жука, то мы бы их в спичечный коробок посадили.
Yeah, and if you make them as small as bugs, we can place them into a little box. Oya giggled and tugged it at my sleeve.
Тоша, пойдем Аладдина смотреть.
Let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy.
Вымотался я. Что-то не хочется.
I'm too tired. I don't want to.
Пойдем.
Come on.
Мне скучно одной, а мама занята все время.
So born alone, and Mom's always busy.
Можно выбрать другой мультик, который ты еще не видел.
We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before.
Я все наши кассеты наизусть знаю.
I know all the tapes by heart at this point.
Вот и не все. Ты Питера Пэна не видел.
Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan.
Ты уснул на середине.
Mama, you fell asleep in the middle of it.
Там потом такое. Ну пойдем. Пойдем.
And so much has happened after that. Let's go, let's go.
Давай попозже.
Maybe a little later.
Рассказать тебе, чем все закончилось?
Did I tell you how it ends?
Утром расскажешь.
Let's leave that for tomorrow.
Утром не захочу.
I won't tell you tomorrow.
Придумала. А давай в прятки.
I know, let's play hide and seek.
Нет, Оль.
No, Olga.
Тогда нарисуй мне динозавра.
Then let me draw a dino.
Оля, блин. Нарисуй.
Draw it, draw it.
Да оставь ты меня в покое.
I blurted it out without thinking, and then I immediately taken aback. I never skinned my little sister like that. Olga said it me in shock. Her lips started trembling, pierced to tears. My chest was seething with that disgust and embarrassment. What happened to me? I hurried to prevent Olga from crying.
Ладно, уболтала. Давай смотреть мультики.
I want you in. I want you in. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit.
Уже не хочу.
I don't wanna. I came up to her, pat my hand on her soft head. Let's go.
Питера Пэна посмотрим.
Let's go watch Peter Pan.
Ага, ты опять уснешь.
Boo, you're falling asleep again. I fell and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless.
Усну, обещаю.
I promise I
Потом
won't.
я тебе целого трицератопса нарисую.
And I'll draw you a full Triopsaurus later. Chippy Sir Pops.
Почти.
Close enough. Olga wiped her eyes with the sleeve of her pajama and a shining smile returned to her face.
Давай ты пока кассету перемотаешь, а я у мамы попрошу сгущенки с хлебом.
I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you will wind the tape.
Только утром свежий привезли, как ты любишь.
The bread is fresh just how you liked it.
Почти. Только аккуратнее, а то разольешь.
Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk.
Ругаться будут.
Or you'll be yelled at again.
Спорим, не разолью.
Mind I bet I won't spill it?
Кассета где-то в тумбочке. Поищи пока.
The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Oya disappeared in the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. The scary window where Oya sees that cursed owl every night looks in the dark. Oya keeps curtains open during the day, but as soon as the twilight comes, he shuts them tight, so she wouldn't see the pair of hungry eyes outside. Oya has countless toys. An old teddy bear is the main attraction here. Oya doesn't sleep without it, and she digs her nose into its fur when she sleeps. I just love that. A piggy bank. Oya saving her money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. Yep. The old Faith on TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. The tube warmed up and a familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. Ah, that's gonna hurt my eyes. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and the blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepily resembled human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scene was gone, overloaded by noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV stations only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. Only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna? What if I cast this channel again? On the other hand, Olia had asked me to find the tape. It would be nice to disappoint her, but in my sleepy state, I don't have the strength to do it all. Do I set it to the channel or lesser sorts? That's a lot of cassettes. As if this house full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. Rusalka. Rusalka. I found the tape I needed thanks to its stabby spine. I got the black rectangle from its box. The tape inside it rustled while winding to the beginning. This rustle was lugging me to sleep. Janice attacked at me while I was squatting before the TV. Images rolled in my head, me and Olya flying above the forest, trembling in soft clouds. My little sister is laughing, but her smile became more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed that the clouds underneath us apart, bearing the bristly pine tops. Swampy darkness slope among the trees, the wings are no longer able to hold us and Olga.
Ты не смотришь без меня?
You haven't started without me, have you? My sister bought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. I rubbed my eyes.
Садись.
No, come sit.
Мама с папой опять ругаются.
Mom and Dad are arguing again.
Сейчас период такой.
They're going through the rough times.
Глупый какой-то период.
Rough times are lame. On the screen, Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's Saturn into the dresser. Olia was entertained by the cartoonist dog Nana.
Может, и нам родители собачку купят?
Maybe Mom and Dad will buy us a dog too.
Ага, как же.
Yeah, right. Hey, wait, hey, Disney gonna sue them for this? Yeah, like,
В Небыляндии у меня будет своя собственная собака. И кошка. И попугайчик.
have my own dog in Neverland, and a cat, and a parrot. Olia smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me.
А у тебя все молочные зубы выпали?
Have you lost all your baby teeth?
Конечно.
Obviously. Olia found deep in thought.
Питера Пэна зубы молочные.
Peter Pan has baby teeth.
Вдруг со взрослыми зубами тебя не пустят в его страну.
Sorry. You've been on stream for 20 minutes now, just like that little kitten watching carefully, but I don't fucking understand. Oh, are you currently lost about what's going on in the game, Klupus? Also, welcome on in. Basically, we play as a 12-year-old boy named Anton. Olia's little sister. Family moved from an apartment in the city to, like, a house in, like, a remote village. Clubs? Got it. That's what I say use him. I got it. Sorry about that. So far, I'm currently, like, I have not been playing for long. Like, I'm only 20 minutes away from playing this for 2 hours, so I'm still very early on. But right now, there is a missing child, and currently our choice is if should we try looking more into the case, or, like, not. Because earlier sorry about this. Something's bad explaining. there's some supernatural stuff going on or some form of illusion. And right now it's very clear to the kids that the parents are not doing well at the moment. Constantly arguing.
Мы что-нибудь обязательно придумаем.
Well, I think of something.
Попросим папу исправить тебе возраст в паспорте.
We'll ask Dad to alter your age in the passport.
Чего это папа будет документы подделывать?
And why would Dad forge documents? Olio took a bite from a sandwich and started talking with a mouth full.
Будет, будет. Мама говорила, что он так делал. А я подслушала.
I heard Mom that he did that. Oh, Dad has flat and made fake documents. Oh, fuck. Why? Because Olio... Before they moved, or like before the bad time started, apparently there was like some men with like dyed out eyes at the front door of the apartment, and they were hearing sirens. Hey, did Dad got caught making documents? Oh no, shit, Mom and Dad are not on good terms.
Смотри, уши вырастут, как у Дамбо.
You got ears as big as Dumbo's. Ollie got worried and touched her ears. I smiled to myself. My little sister was silent now. She was just devout read, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. As if she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. To be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where no one ever ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's screams pulled me back to reality.
Слушай, скорее, штору задерни.
Set the curtains fast.
Зачем?
Why?
Никто же на тебя не смотрит.
No one's watching you.
Уже темно. А когда темнеет, прилетает сова.
It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes.
Я боюсь.
I'm scared. I got out of bed, fighting my jitteriness, and closed the curtains. I did my best not to look outside, towards the treetops, towards the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visible effect from the shadows and the branches scraping the snow.
Тоша, мама думает, что я придумала про сову.
Toza, Mom thinks I made the owl up,
И папа считает, что раз я маленькая, это значит врушка.
and Dad thinks I'm... And Dad too thinks I'm alive since I'm small.
А сова есть.
But the owl exists.
Честная-пречестная, есть она.
It does. Honestly, it does.
Не веришь?
You believe me, right?
Там и каждую ночь прилетает и...
That it comes every night. And I swiftly grabbed Olga's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities? Oh, why the voice acting in Russian? That's literally the only option, collapse. Heal. Can I... Menu. Can I save this? Yes. Ooh, love this. Okay, and let's go back to the main menu. Yeah, so this was originally like a game in Russian, clubs. Like the original language was in Russian, but there is an English translation. But currently the only available voice acting to the game is just Russian. Does that answer your question? So yeah, that also just takes place in Soviet Russia as well, because we made multiple references to like Soviet/Russian shows, musicians already. But you know, it's like a nice little detail. Being in a country, it makes sense that people speak the language there. But did I really have those qualities?
Я тебе верю, слышишь?
Yes, I believe you, alright?
Только родителям больше не рассказывай про сову.
Just don't nag our parents about it anymore.
Так хлопот по горло, они только рассердятся.
They've only been dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you.
Не говори, если что случится.
Come and tell me if anything happens.
Смотри.
And don't look out the window.
Она хочет, чтобы я смотрела.
But it wants me to look.
Не хочет.
Doesn't matter.
Притворись, что ее нет и не было никогда. Что она выдумка, как родители говорят.
Act like it doesn't exist and never existed. Like it made up, just like Mom and Dad says.
Ей ждать надоест,
He'll get tired and of waiting and fly away. Okay, so I'm gonna pop up. We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Oriola's eyelids had dropped. She started snoring lightly, resting her chin on the side of her bed. I stood up and left Oriola's room. I was looking out the window, studying the field, when my mom peeked into my room.
Довольно баловства.
Enough playing around.
Завтра первый день в школе.
It's your first day at school tomorrow.
Ложись, тебе надо выспаться.
Go to bed. You should sleep properly.
Не хочешь же ты, чтобы тебя все дразнили Соней?
You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? Adults think everything is so simple. As if sound sleep wouldn't erase, and so my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear the mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it was just part of growing up, and I can't fully understand my own desires. The floor is real behind the barriers that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as it was calling for me. The wind howled on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into a slumber. It has come, after all. The day I feared the most, the first day of a new school term. Oh wow, that was literally just episode 1. I could go back again and not pick up the mitten, or try to find that mysterious channel. I think maybe what I'll do, you guys, is I'll go through each episode that's available and then come back and do different options. New school, new teachers, and most importantly, new classmates, who I always have trouble connecting with. Like most other kids with glasses, probably. I forced myself to get out of my warm bed. Dad would usually drive me to my old school, but this morning the bedroom of my parents was silent. Did they sleep in? Maybe it was a good thing. I didn't want to get the boy's reputation from day one. My parents were probably still tucked in, dreaming about the golden days when everything was so simple and easy. Sweet dreams, even if far removed from reality. I suddenly sneaked out of the first floor so I wouldn't wake up anyone, especially the peacefully sleeping Ola. I did my best to step on the middle of every floorboard. I used to play like this even in our old apartment. If my soles touched the space between the floorboards, it counted as stepping into lava. The clock was spurring me on with its hand. I need to hurry faster, faster. I was too fast, so I needed to circle the hallway once again. Boiling lava was bursting out of the cracks between floorboards. I needed to watch my step to survive at any cost. Hippity-hoppy like a frog jumping on a molehill, like a fearful bunny in a grove full of wolves. I made a sandwich in the kitchen, stuffed it down my throat, and drank it down with cold tea. My appetite was good as someone being led up the scaffold towards a guillotine. I lowered my gaze and saw that one of my feet was standing on 2 floorboards at the same time. Run to the crisp, huh? I moved my foot. Disgusting little sneakers withered in my belly, the fear of getting hit and being called nasty names. The clock's kicked. I need to go. It was dark outside, fitting for a early winter morning. This darkness never fully left the house around here. Okay, I kind of have that memory. So, again, I live in Canada, so of course so winters get quite fierce, not gonna lie. And yeah, it's still dark even early in the morning. And I remember, I don't do this no more, but my family, we used to have a dog named Julie. we had to give her up when my dad was facing like bad medical condition. But for Julie, she was a super hyper dog. And every morning at 6:30 in the morning, I have to take her out in the walk. And during winter times, it was so dark outside. I don't know. Sometimes it was scary to take the dog out for a walk in the night, even if it was still the morning. But still, though, the neighborhood I was in when I was taking her out for a walk, it was still new. Like, there was construction going on, so sometimes on the walk, I can see, like, construction machines moving around. But I kind of get that feeling, like, leaving the house, but it's still dark out. Even if it's... I am so sorry about that. That was disgusting, my bad. I wore my glasses for good luck, though I couldn't remember a single time these thick pieces of glass brought me any good fortune. The sky was akin to a giant ruse. On the east side of it, a black cloud was swelling up. It lifted up stars from the sky and exhausted the rising sun. Darkness was plastered all over the tree tops. The courteous cries of birds got trampled up in the trinket. I locked the front door with a long key that I wore around my neck. I also do that too. When my grandpa passed away, and I was in middle school, like, I was somewhat called a latchkey kid, where I leave school, but when I come back home, no one was there at the house. But, like, back in elementary, it was just my grandpa. So he was always there to open the front door for me, but after he passed away, I had a key always around my neck. Sometimes, though, I get so paranoid that either A, I forgot to lock the door, or B, like, the key wasn't on my neck, that I would often, like, constantly check, wait, is the key on me? Is the key on me? I would do that. And I have one clear memory is, I went to school quite quickly, but I'm like, wait, did I close my door? Did I actually do it? So I raised my hand, asked my teacher, hey, I don't think I closed my door. Can I book it to my house? And the teacher did let me, because again, I was super new to school. So I literally got my stuff, I flat out ran to my home, just to double check that I actually closed the door. Which I did close it, but I just forgot that I did. So, you know, I once again booked it back to school. I know my classes just looked at me as so weird because of that. My parents made me wear those news, afraid that I being a total klutz that I am would lose the key otherwise. The wind reads on the other side of the gate and invited me into my new life, towards ambitious adventures, and tagged along like an old buddy, pushing me in the back. White shadows that pines throughout covered a third of the clearing. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, I hit my nose in the coat's collar. I was squeezing through the thin fabric, my hair ruffled up and my back hunched over. Tall trees stood on both sides of a tiny trail. The snowy blanket rustled under my feet, and the cacophony of intertwined branches above my head cut me off from an always sparse starlight. The night had no plans of moving away from the forest. In this darkness, trees reminded me of some saggy old woman that smelled of burial earth. The trunks turned into cracked, wrinkled faces with moles in the middle of their mouths. If I lost focus even for a moment, mold-covered witches would drag me into the forest depths. Then my parents would be walking around these parts screaming my name. But the dead can't answer the living. Hi, Grandma. Oh, can't they? A sense of panic was going in my chest. I was fine with Dad carrying me into the school in his hands by now, if it would saved me from watching the darkness rise up and within like black dough. It felt like someone jumped into the bushes behind me, so I turned around. As soon as I walked faster, I heard the snow squeaking behind me. The forest took a deep breath with its giant lungs. The windfall cracked. The wind and the birds were left behind in the field. Now I can only hear the forest creak. It's very interesting, but I don't understand. I fucking understand anything. I don't know English. Oh, it's perfectly fine. It is a visual novel too, so like a lot of the heavy is from the text. Oh, you don't know English though? Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what was your first language? Clubs. Oh, thank you for the follow. Yeah, also I'm just not the best reader. I did not grow up reading as much, so I will absolutely pronounce so many words incorrectly. I very much apologize for that. But again, thank you once again for the follow clubs. I walked, listening closely, and the unseen presence grew stronger, as if someone was following me, trying to match the pace of my footsteps. I turned my head so fast it made my neck clench. A tiny trail behind me disappeared into the darkness. Tree branches overlapped, forming a natural tunnel.
Есть здесь кто?
Who's there? The crescent escaped my lips and dissolved into the unending creaking sound of the wooden idols of the pines around me. Why did I think going through the forest alone was a good idea? I'm either going mad, or someone had intentionally lured me away from home. Distant lights granted me a smudge of hope. A country road. Take me home. That's Virginia. I went as fast as I could, as if afraid that the tribal swink crawled hands would grip me by the shoulder, turn me around, and make me look at the faces of hungry forest denizens. In the end, no one stopped me. But I know this novel, almost all of it, and I understand some of the words from time to time, but it's so hard to grasp the threads of meaning. The Blackfield Crescent is who does the streamer performer? 4 girls or little girls? What the hell was that ending part? I'm sorry, that well, has put caught me off guard. Oh, you know this novel, almost all of it. I see. Damn. I almost feel the disparate wooden bridge, disbelief in my luck. The bridge are put beneath in a spade tray and ice cold. I put my hands on my knees and looked up at the forest, then started trying to calm my breathing. The thickness was penetrating to be pretending to be asleep. It looked peacefully lifeless. The remaining part of my community lied through a snow-laden road, illuminated by sparse lamplights. Well, you know the answers to it anyways. I chased away bad thoughts and ran as fast as I could from one circle of light to another, seeking protection from electric lamps. Just like in that game where you need to be the first to proclaim I am protected. Oh, tag. A kid's game where one player needs to tag another players by touching them with their hands, making them it. In certain zones normally called the goal, players can stay safe from tagging. I did that too when I was in middle school. So me and my friends in middle school, we used to play tag or like manhunt a lot. But the main save area where you couldn't play was the school itself. But any area around it was fair game. And just in this case, that protection was flimsy at best, with darkness writhing around its bounds. Then I noticed something remarkably eerie. I'll stop that sound effect now. In a place where the light from an inclined lamp couldn't reach, a hairy, crooked shadow came alive with a gultening roar. No, the sound effect, what the It almost felt like its features deterred like its unnatural pose instilled fear. My eyes almost popped out of their sockets as I just stood there, blinking and trying to chase away the illusion. But the shadows didn't disappear, and Ethan got close. My insides were good by core, except the back and almost fell into a pile of snow. The black silhouette, on the other hand, straightened up and addressed me in a sweet voice.
Крадешься. Душу мою украсть хочешь?
Sneaking around, huh? Trying to steal my soul? Words got stuck in my throat. Who could be talking in such a silky voice here between the forest and the dormant village?
Молчишь, несмышленый.
Will you say something, dummy?
Язык вырвали?
A cat got your tongue?
Слушай, а я тебе еще и нос откушу.
Alright, I'll bite your nose off. Wait,
Язык вырвали? Слушай, а я тебе еще и нос откушу.
Sluicing means like listen. Right? I know sometimes some of these things do make some changes. Yeah, no, sluicing means like usually like listen. Alrighty, how can I say that like I would say like Nuladna? Something like that for like in Russian. Ladna. I think something like that was the correct one.
Совать его в чужие дела.
And I'll teach you not to poke in its places it doesn't belong. A ghost will before me, judging from the voice and the silhouettes. Why? It's good? A good point. And it's just like, I am trying to learn Russian, so I think this would make a good way to just hear more or less just Russian dialogue. But I couldn't even repent myself from getting scared by a girl before noticing a gaping mouth under her hood with something densely shining inside. I was stunned. Oh, it's this music! Da, da. This is the only thing I know about this game, is this particular background music. I know there's like a YouTube video out there with like lyrics, and I honestly really enjoy this music. Da, 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 da. Like I really want to turn up the volume quite a lot. From the cavity of her hood, a fighting wheel fox face was staring straight at me. It's just her jaws aren't moving and her eyes weren't blinking. A mask. It's just a girl with a fox mask on. At least I wanted to think that. After a surprise like that, another smile involuntarily crept into my face. I know. They do use the music for a good atmosphere.
А я
I was just...
просто в школу иду, а тут ты.
I was going to school and then you...
Кто я?
What about me?
Никогда не видел, как лиса собаку кормит.
You never seen a fox feed a dog? And indeed, there was a small dog clutching the girl's leg. One of the strays that was chasing me yesterday, probably.
Извини, я не хотел.
So I didn't mean to. After hearing my voice, the dog whimpered, lowered its ears, sniffed me out, and then started wagging its tail. I guess it still smells of Bologna. Bologna. Kabasco. Like, I'm just gonna call it Kabasco. That I ate for breakfast. I was sniffing my gaze back and forth from the dog to the girl. She didn't seem scary anymore, just weird.
Значит, не хотел.
So you didn't mean to, huh?
Как тебя зовут?
What's your name?
Меня Антон.
I'm Anton.
А тебя? А меня нет.
And I'm not. She's weird. Definitely has like a couple of screws loose. But she has a nice voice. My husband has turned into a mix of happiness and relief. This girl I didn't know was definitely human, if a bit eccentric. I was almost a bit angry at myself. This foxy girl was walking through the darkness without problem, and I stuttered from every sound. I should just walk away, but this girl had piqued my interest. The next time a police officer asked me about my friends at this new place, I'll tell them that I befriended a talking fox.
Где
Do
живешь?
you live around here?
В поселке?
In the village? The fox giggled and purred. She spun around so hard the hem of her coat lifted up.
Нет, глупый.
No, dummy.
Лисы не живут в поселках.
Foxes don't live in villages.
Сказать, ты живешь в лесу?
So, you live in the forest then?
Из какой норы ты вылез?
Have you been living under a rock?
Конечно. Лисам среди людей не выжить.
It's obvious that foxes can't survive anywhere near humans.
Какая они лисы?
as long as they're foxes. Her jokes was also weird. Just like a carnival mask, paper mache with fur glued onto it. The dog reminded us of the existence with a loud bark. I unfastened my backpack. Dad would sometimes throw food in there without my knowledge, cookies, apples, or even my favorite crab sticks. He called it a gift from the bunny. She's from the bunny. An uneaten part of a business lunch or a treat specifically bought for children. Parents will tell the children that a bunny asked them to deliver said treat, but it would also be any other animal, a squirrel or a bear, for example. Oh, that's so sweet. A straight strolled towards me with menacing footsteps with a pleading look in its eyes. The fox did definitely treat it to something, but it was probably still hungry.
Зачем ты так вырядилась с утра пораньше?
Why are you dressed like this so early in the morning?
На утренник идешь?
Going to a costume party? The girl shrugged it, throwing silvery snowflakes off her nose, and a human form along with them, turning into a genuine beast, a real fox, agile, cunning, dangerous. A moment of hesitation and you'll be ripped to shreds. She'll tear you up and gulp you down without it breaking a sweat. I couldn't help but stand there as a stump. Until I heard a calm and like laughter hidden beneath the beastly mask.
Видел бы ты свою маску, сладенький.
I was like, you could see your own mask, sweetie. Is this maybe like a persona type of situation? Where like the mask is what someone brings up, or like a facade to give to society? Like, is that what it's trying to go through here? Don't get lost. Oh, yep. So, did he say sweetie? I got embarrassed, went red up to my hair roots. We've seen Fox in a zoo once when we met there with Dad, but it had patchy fur with gray and skinny. The figure is floating if you do something. But this girl was awfully colorful and fiery, just like a fairy tale. I was still rummaging through my backpack. My fingers I was searching for the dog treat stumbled upon some crumpled object.
Чего?
You'll see.
Скоро проснутся настоящие звери.
The little beasts will wake up soon.
Спроси-ка лучше у них,
You should
где
ask.
они взяли свои человеческие лица.
You should ask them where they got their human faces. The ghost shadow was dancing in a lamplight. The dog yapped in agreement. I freaked out and dropped my findings in the sun without getting a proper chance to examine it. The cold wind instantly covered the hole it created with snow. The dog wanted to get out, wanted to get its treats. And the fox just snorted. Now I was so embarrassed I wanted to sink through the snow. It was so dark outside of the electric circle. On the contrary, the darkness seemed even more thick. All the neighboring houses were sleeping deeply in its igness. I did my best to continue the conversation with the weird girl I didn't know.
Ты в школу идешь?
So, are you going to school?
Ах, ну какой же дурачок!
Oh, you're a real dummy.
Ничего и не понял.
Don't you get it? Well, I was trying to be friendly, but now she can't stop mocking me. Calling me a dummy and all. I thought I'd just move along without paying any attention to this weirdo and a stupid dog.
Ты чего обзываешься?
Why are you so mean?
Не хочешь отвечать, пожалуйста.
Don't want answer if you don't want to.
Никто не требует.
It's not like I care. So, something froze me in place, tugged me towards the dark figure. A mysterious appearance, her voice that was reverently and just lunacy enough. I was intrigued and excited. I watched her as people watch fires burn.
Ой, да не дуйся.
Stop pouting.
Иди-ка лучше.
Look here.
Нравишься Жульке?
Zulka took a liking to you. The dog was digging through the snow with a soft movement, snoring loudly. The fox turned around and looked at the window of the nearby house as its silhouette fun through the white mist. The tip of her fake nose was shining under the lamp's light.
Не только ей.
And maybe someone else too. I went red again like a boiled clay fist this time. Was he talking about myself or someone else? I hope that the semi-dog will be able to hide my embarrassment from this girl. I cleared my throat before asking,
А кому еще я нравлюсь?
and who's that person? I waited, counting my heartbeats. Yeah, I can actually see the bloods too. The fox didn't reply. Her sly stare was scanning the forest patterns for someone's window. She was reading them like a glass book. I wonder what you can see in those winter painting. They strayed, stopping, ramping through the snow. It ran to me, holding my object in her jaws. A mitten. Right. Could it be the one I found in the forest? What is it doing here? Okay. The question is, how did it got in? Let's see here. It could be either the parents, because it might have just went into the drawer and just put it in the bag. It can't... I don't really think it could have been the little sister. Then again, the sister does know about where the mitten is at. That's the thing, huh? When I looked it closer, I realized it was just my mitten. Maybe mom stuffed it in there when I was asleep? A certain missing boy immediately comes to mind.
Эй, ты знаешь что-нибудь про Вову?
Hey, do you know anything about Vuvu? I imagine the scene, silhouettes dancing in the clearing. The dance on the night where Vuvu had disappeared. A boy who, when found, can prive a big reward and maybe save my family. I remember my birthday when our parents promised to take me and Ola to Disneyland in Paris. But instead of a long anticipated gift, they gave me a simple book game console, visibly embarrassed. I was crying my eyes out back then, demanding to take me to the promised amusement park. That was the first time when mom and dad had a big fight. My greediness saddened their relationship. Oh, wait, which birthday was that? It didn't say which birthday exactly. But most likely it was the last one, I believe.
В ночь, когда пропал Вова, я, кажется, видел, как кто-то похожий на тебя плясал под моим окном.
On the night Ova disappeared, I think I saw someone looking like you dancing under my window. It couldn't be true, but I felt like her mask became even more sly. The fox was sniffing me out.
Ты тогда испугался?
Oh? What got you worried?
За себя или кого-то еще?
For yourself or for someone else? Ola, as soon as I thought about my sister, my cheek tightened and cold sweat streamed down my spine.
Ну так слушай меня внимательно, мальчик по имени Антон.
Well then, listen closely, a boy named Anton.
Да, большой и страшный лес.
This is a big and scary forest. The fox goes step forward menacingly.
Я не единственный его обитатель.
And I am not the only tenant.
Другие звери уже знают о тебе.
The other beast already knows about you.
Берегись нас. Этой ночью
Beware,
опять придем.
beware, we will come again tonight. I shouldn't have talked to this evil and child form, I thought, panicking.
Со своей семьей будешь спать? Подкрадемся близко-близко и станцуем.
When you and your parents will be fast asleep, we'll sneak like real close and dance. The Makan.
Чё?
Honestly, this is a good reaction face. Oh, I want to like take a little screenshot because, like, again, I love the artwork here.
Эй, Макарена! Челюсть отвисла, Антоша!
Look at your mouth is again. Donasa.
Видел он меня ночью у своего окна. Ага, как же!
He saw me near his window at night. Yeah, right.
Случаем не местный дурачок.
Are you by chance a dimwit?
Меня не отпускают гулять так поздно.
No one will let me go outside that late.
Знаешь ли, дети пропадают.
Children go missing here, you know. I touched the plastic frame of my glasses, puzzled by her silly joke. She got me scared to death.
Ой, да не тереби ты окуляры свои.
Hey, why do you stop finding your glasses?
Раньше тоже
I
близорукой
was
была.
I was also nearsighted once.
Лучше послушай меня. Может быть, ума наберешься.
Listen to me and maybe you'll become smarter.
Птичку как обычно называют?
Remember what they call foxes?
Плутовка.
Cunning. My word seems to hurt her.
Ох ты ж! Да как ты меня?
Hey, what did you...
Ой, прости.
I'm sorry? Her laughter was akin to a jingle of pair of silver bells.
Шучу я.
You're pulling my leg.
Конечно, плутовкой.
Of course we're cunning.
Если ты ловкий и смелый, не боишься с плутовкой водиться, я, так и быть, помогу разыскать этого Вову.
If you're agile and brave enough to befriend a cunning fox, I'll help you look for Ova.
Ты же неспроста его ищешь.
That's the reason why you're doing it, right? I shrugged in reply. Her insight was alarming.
Знаю, почему дети повадились соваться в наш лес.
I know why children have been swarming our forest recently.
Там можно найти много всякого интересного.
Somebody's can find a lot of interesting stuff there.
Я вот однажды нашла целый сугроб конфет и купалась в нем. Да так что челюсть слиплась.
One day, I saw a huge pile of candy once, and I swarmed in it until my jaws clumped. A pile of candy? I could deduce whether she believed in what she was saying from the tone of her voice. I showed her another smile, a fake one this time.
Смотрите-ка, какой недоверчивый.
Boo, so wary.
А что ты на это скажешь?
See? Well, what would we say to this then? She held out her hand in a furry mitten. There was a swarm of sweets in her palm. In the city where I used to live, sweets like these were sold at markets or in Gus. Koyos, small container type shops selling a wide assortment of products from bubblegum to vodka, clothing, or even home appliances. These types of shops were popular in the 90s Russia, and more often than not tried to chemicalization. Okay, I did saw a video a while back. There is like an upcoming horror game that takes place in one of these. I remember that. Like, if I remember finding that video and the name of that game, would you guys be interested if I try playing that game? Like, again, it is like another horror game. I saw my favorite bubblegum in the wide wrappers among the tasty treasures. A familiar name was on it, Tobo. The triangular fox face poked her nose towards me. Take some.
У меня их полные карманы.
My pockets are full of these. I'm good. We don't know you. We just met you. And it's been weird stuff. You asked if all your children are going missing? No. These might be drugs.
Спасибо, я...
No thanks, I didn't want to offend the first person I made contact with in this new place, but I also didn't want to be take gum off of the hands of some weird girl. What if they found it in a snow pile? Or what if it's a prank candy? The kind that blows up in your face when you unwrap it.
Короткая аллергия.
I'm allergic to sweets.
Аллер... Что?
Oh, what? She sounded puzzled.
Чего? Живешь в мире таблеток и микстур?
Oh, you live in a world of pills and mixers? Yes, we took medicine earlier.
В целом, да.
Oh, more or less. The fox whistled. Her palms were empty now. It floated in the air, catching snowflakes now that all candy had suddenly disappeared.
Новый год у вас правда раз в 12 месяцев?
And you only celebrate New Year's once in the 12 months, right?
То есть эти...
And you have those... She clicked her fingers trying to remember something.
Понедельники?
Mondays.
Ага.
Yeah. I smiled.
О, как все запущено.
You're a difficult case.
Юноша, кило шоколада съесть против скуки и уныния.
I describe you a kilo of chocolate to buy you boredom. Here's a kilo of chocolate. Who are you? I was finally asking that question. She wouldn't answer anyway, or else would just lie. I really wanted to see what behind her mask. I was becoming more and more unsure that underneath it was just a Cebulian goal.
Может, Вова тоже нашел сугроб сладостей и теперь кувыркается в нем?
What if Ulva also found a small pile of sweets and is now rolling in it?
Слушай, вдруг он решил остаться в лесу?
Actually, what if he decides to stay in the forest?
Наверное, ему очень холодно в одной варежке.
Must be so cool without his second mitten then. Did we wait? I might have forgot. Did we actually say that who the mitten belongs to? The wind caught her words like smoke from a fire and carried them deep into darkness into the creepy picnic. The trees behind me creaked with the bony branches.
С ним что-то случилось в пути.
What if something happened to him along the way?
Что-то страшное.
Something terrible. The forest reacted to her words, becoming alive. It sniffed me out, poking up its ears like a curious beast. The fox girl pierced me with her eyes again.
Такие звери?
Wild beast.
Это, по-твоему, страшно?
You find that scary?
Ну, не знаю.
I don't know.
Не знаю.
He doesn't know.
Уж не с двоечником ли я подружилась?
Oh my, have I befriended a dunce? I didn't like being called a dunce, yet being friends with her sounds nice.
Я
My grades are good.
Бел да пушист.
Really now?
Пойдешь со мной? Хорошист Антон.
Will you come with me, good grades Anton?
Твоего Вову? И сам его спросишь, что он нашел в этой пуще.
We'll fight over, and you'll be able to ask him what he found deep in the forest.
Пока мы вместе, никто тебя в лесу не видит.
As long as you're with me, nothing can hurt you in the forest.
Вот увидишь.
You'll see. Worms of worry withered in my belly. Better run, whispered my mind.
не верю.
I don't believe you.
Ты думаешь, я врунья?
Do you take me for a liar?
Ты, пожалуйста. Мне никогда никто не верит.
Whatever, you're just like everybody else. The girl sounded hurt, although I don't know if she was genuine about it. She turned around as if she had immediately lost all interest in me. I remember my dad's favorite saying, "Where are your manners, son?" Indeed, this fox was kind to me.
Обижайся, пожалуйста.
Please don't get mad.
Лисы бывают и добрыми.
Foxes can also be nice,
Ну, как в сказках.
like in fairy tales.
Только понять, что ты за лиса.
I just need to know what kind of fox you are. The girl giggled, hiding the nose of her nest in her hands.
Тогда пойдем со мной в лес, и ты все обо мне узнаешь.
Then follow me to the forest and you'll get to know me.
Но не сейчас, а когда рассветет. А то тебя, бедного, всего аж потряхивает.
But not right now. When it gets bright. I mean, your whole body's shaking, you poor thing.
Гляди, кондрашка хватит.
I don't want you to get a stroke. Hey,
Тебя до школы.
hey, let me accompany you to school. Having this, the dog barked and agreed and stopped messing with the mitten. I leaned in, trying to grab the piece of handwood that almost ran away from me.
Если тебе по пути,
Well, we're going in the same direction. We went towards the school and the lost dawn. Here and there, the lights came on in the windows and houses we passed, as if the inhabitants were swinging us warning signs. Silhouettes looked behind curtains, dogs let out occasional barks. Spirals of grey smokes rose from chimneys, TV busted, and dishes clinkled in kitchens. We watched the village slowly rise from its slumber, while carefully tending the snow wheel trails. I walked in and left one, and she took the right one. The dogs followed right behind us. I expected the fox to bring something up weird again, but she stayed silent all the way to the school, as if playing with me with some game only she was privy to. She could only giggle from time to time when the dog sneezed from the snowflakes that fell on its nose. I was forced to break the silence.
как тебя зовут?
So, what's your name?
А, ну, конечно.
Here it comes.
На имена.
Names, names, names.
Непременно надо вешать ярлыки на все подряд.
You people want always need to put labels on everything.
Ну и как бы ты назвал такую лису, как я?
What name could you give a fox like me?
Даже не знаю.
I don't know.
Но я читал про лису по имени Алиса.
But I read about Elisa the fox.
Что?
You know what?
Я не против.
I don't know.
Будет Алиса.
I'll be Elisa. I could understand if she was joking or not. I turned around as if looking for an answer from the dark sky, the void of dawn. My silent question felt unanswered. The school outline was already in our sight. A giant brick box struck in endless nights. lights in its windows didn't bode well for me. The wooden trees were guarding the schoolyard. Screams, laughter, child, and someone's whistling tore up the silence. I went there with Mom when we just moved, and the place looked cozy at the time. Empty corridors that smell of porous, puffy snow outside. The second time I came along to get the books and just kept unmessing my peels. Rolling down the railing, grade schools, running the library, and teachers marching down the corridor with the air of self-importance around them. High schoolers were smoking at the entrance in track pants and wool caps, perched on their forehead. Their appearance destroyed the last hope of a cozy school. Their stingy eyes and teeth, following yellow from nicotine, their smokes, all of it had the same gloomy effects as a cloudy winter morning. Absorbed by my thoughts, I completely forgot my companion.
После уроков жду тебя на заднем дворе.
I'll wait for you at the backyard of the school,
Возле повешенного.
near the hanged man. Near what? So you just ignore my question.
Опаздывай.
Don't be late. I hesitated. Blowing hot and cold again, Mom always said that when I should have trouble choosing between two options. Think about Mom helping me reply.
Я после школы сразу домой.
I'm going straight home after school.
Эх, Антоша, это я тебя так просто отпустила.
Well, Antosha, I'm gonna let you off the hook.
Другие же незаметно подкрадутся со своими улыбочками и вцепятся. Леща меня оторвешь.
But the others will keep up to you with the smiles and sink their teeth into you. You wouldn't be able to sneak them off as easily.
Помни мои.
Remember my words. Okay, that's a what the fuck? The fox opened her mouth in a wide yawn. What kind of trick is this? Someone's running in the distance calling out my name. I simply turned it around. A huge snowball waltzed past my shoulders that hit the dog. It whimpered and went towards the spring. The darkness devoured it. The fox girl was also nowhere to be seen. She disappeared into the frosty air. Or was she hiding in the shadow? After taking a deep breath, I went towards the school, towards the clouds and dough, towards the light raining down onto the snow. Come on! Folk! You little bits! Okay, I'm gonna save this for now. And that will be it for today's stream. No, I really did enjoy this. I'm surprised by how quickly... Apologies. I was kind of surprised by how short episode 1 was, but we're only on episode 2. I'll change scenes, actually. I'm also gonna turn off the game. Oof, sorry about that. No, legit, the moment I opened the game, I instantly got a lot of achievements. So that's kind of funny to think about. But, no. I do want to say, like, thank you for everyone who dropped by for today, and the new followers, too. I hope at least today's stream was fun. Tomorrow will be the work stream, so for Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be working on the ending stream screen. But, well, I can't do Friday, it will be on Saturday instead. We'll be playing some IDV night, but like for now, Sundays will be Tiny Bunny. We'll be playing it until I get to the end of what's currently available, and we'll see if I want to like redo them and try like different options. Other than that, thank you very much everyone, and I hope you all have a good night. And other than that, baka.